In this latest video, I'll walk you through insights and analysis from 9 top XRP chart experts, including one who believes a $10.00 XRP is actually a pretty conservative prediction. And yes, that's a direct quote. I'll break down exactly why his perspective deserves attention and how his big picture outlook makes a strong case for investing in coins like XRP over Bitcoin right now. On the short-term front, it's true we're still moving sideways. Sure, the market's a bit green today, always nice to see, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're not out of the woods just yet. Many analysts are still convinced there's a decent chance, though not guaranteed, that in the next week or two, maybe 3, if a certain chart pattern plays out, Bitcoin could dip into the mid 90s. If that happens, XRP might also tumble close to $2.00. Don't panic or lose your cool if it does. This kind of movement is completely normal in the wild world of crypto. Volatility is just part of the game, right? It's not the end of the world. In fact, according to the savvy folks I follow, such a dip could signal the local bottom. Finally, we'll start seeing signs of strength, building momentum until we hit that exciting parabolic push. It's usually when everyone feels defeated, venting their frustrations online, that the biggest opportunities emerge. Funny how that works, right? But before we dive deeper, let me be crystal clear. I'm not a financial expert, just someone sharing thoughts. This is not financial advice. So don't make any buying or selling decisions based on what I say. As of now, it's 8:12 p.m. Central Time, Monday, June 2nd. 2025. XRP is sitting at $2.21, while Bitcoin has soared to $106,361.00. So Bitcoin's still moving sideways, but let's dive into something interesting. Check this out. I wanted to quickly highlight this. You don't even need to read the entire article to get the gist. Here's the headline from Crypto Basic. FundStrat's Tom Lee raises his 2025 Bitcoin target to $250,000.00. I watched the clip where he talks about this. For those who don't know, Tom Lee is a regular contributor on CNBC, appearing on national TV all the time. I've been following his work for what feels like ages, probably over 100 decades now. Sure, nobody's right 100% of the time, not even him, but his track record is pretty solid. What I admire most is his data-driven approach. He dives into the numbers, breaks them down, and gives his honest take on what's happening. Earlier this year, he predicted Bitcoin could hit $150,000.00, and now he's raised the bar even higher. He truly believes Bitcoin has the potential to soar even higher. And honestly, I'll admit it's possible. It's not my main prediction, but he suggests it's totally reasonable for Bitcoin to hit $200,000.00, maybe even $250,000.00 by the end of the year. Let me just say this, if that happens, wow, the ripple effect on altcoins would be insane. If Bitcoin skyrockets to those levels, seeing XRP climb to $25.00 or $30, 0 cents wouldn't just be possible, it'd be expected. I wouldn't doubt it for a second. Many analysts predicting XRP to peak at $8.00 to $10.00 this cycle are basing it on Bitcoin reaching $130,000.00, $150,000.00, or even $170,000.00. Think about it. When that much money floods into the crypto market, it doesn't just stay with Bitcoin. It flows, it cycles. Bitcoin will pump, profits will roll in, and that liquidity will flow into altcoins, starting with large caps like XRP, then into mid and small caps. If Bitcoin hits those jaw-dropping levels, the entire crypto space could see a tidal wave of action. The more money that flows into Bitcoin, the better. It's that simple. You might not care about Bitcoin, and that's totally fine. Call it the pet rock of crypto if you want, but you should still root for it to climb higher, even if you don't own any. Why? Because when Bitcoin soars, it creates excitement and pumps more money into the entire crypto market. Take those analysts predicting $150,000.00 Bitcoin or even higher. Sure, they've got their wild calls, but these are often the same folks projecting $10.00 XRP if Bitcoin skyrockets to $200,000.00. Can you really imagine XRP not following suit? It seems inevitable, doesn't it? And what about Ethereum? If it just doubles from its last peak of $4,900.00, that puts it near $10,000.00 maybe even higher. Honestly, that might be a conservative guess. When Bitcoin sets the pace, the whole space moves, and the ripple effect can be massive. If XRP hits the market cap I've been talking about lately, we're looking at a potential price of $20.00. Yep, just that alone could send things into overdrive. You can see how quickly the crypto space can go absolutely wild when that much money starts flowing in. Now, there's a belief this could happen during this market cycle, this year even. And let's face it, crypto moves fast, so I won't rule it out entirely. It's not my main prediction right now, but I'll admit, sure, it's possible. Way more money could pour into XRP than most people expect. I can imagine it. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Speaking of predictions, check this out. Here's a headline from the Crypto Basic top Bitcoin analyst George Tung. Says XRP can realistically reach $8 to $10.00. In an interview with Altcoin Daily, George Tung, founder of CryptoZarus, shared his optimistic take on XRP's future. Tung predicts XRP could climb to between $8.00 and $10.00 by the end of 2025. The seasoned Bitcoin analyst points to XRP's resilience through market cycles and its solid fundamentals as key drivers behind his forecast. Now, I'm not super familiar with this guy, but I did catch the relevant bit of his video, and I have to say his reasoning clicked. He also touched on Bitcoin, and the way he explained it was like hearing my own thoughts echoed back. I've been saying this forever. To paraphrase, he broke down why investing in Bitcoin at this stage doesn't make much sense. And honestly, it resonated. He nailed it. You could put $1,000 into Bitcoin right now, but if you're in it for the long haul, sure, you might see that tenfold return. Maybe Bitcoin finally hits $1 million someday. But here's the thing. You don't need to wait forever to see big gains. Using XRP as an example, it's a different game with altcoins. There's far less money in XRP compared to Bitcoin, which means it takes much less capital flowing in to see a massive multiplier effect. That's the beauty of it. It's not about being anti-Bitcoin. This isn't a Bitcoin versus altcoins debate. The point is simple. If you've got a long time horizon, Bitcoin might deliver those 10x or more returns. Cool. But with XRP, the potential gains are faster and closer. For instance, this expert predicted a peak of $8.00 to $10.00 for XRP this cycle. That's already a solid 4 to 5-fold increase from where it's sitting now, even over $2.00. Idea, it's something I've been saying for years on this channel, and when I heard him lay it out, I was like, yes, this guy gets it. He called it pretty conservative at first. He shared his prediction, paused for a moment, and admitted, honestly, that's pretty conservative. It was clear he knew it could go much higher. I get it. Some analysts prefer to play it safe, and I respect that. But the way he spoke, you could tell he sees the potential for much bigger gain. It's just not the full story. I'll be honest, I don't know much about this guy, but here's the thing. He comes across as someone who genuinely gets it, someone who's being intellectually honest, at least in that video. As I watched, I found myself nodding along thinking, yes, exactly. This is what I've been saying all along. I've talked about an $8.00 to $10.00 XRP before. Sure, I can't predict where XRP will peak in this cycle, but sometimes I wonder, am I being too conservative? If I am, then what does that mean for XRP's real potential? Could it go way, way beyond that? The thought is pretty thrilling, to say the least. This morning, the blockchain backer dropped another insightful video, and as always, it's right on time. He walked through the Bitcoin price chart, the ABCs of the altcoin market, and XRP, all eyeing a potential breakout. If you're into the details of market analysis, his video is a must-watch. He expertly breaks down the technical reasons behind his predictions, making complex concepts easy to follow. Seriously, he's got a knack for this stuff. Here's the big takeaway. He's tracking an ABC correction that seems to be playing out. For now, we're trending upward, and this could continue through the week. But heads up, he predicts a dip coming, with Bitcoin potentially bottoming out between $95,000 and $98,000. Let me just give you a heads up. This isn't set in stone, but if it happens, you can bet XRP will follow suit. Now, he mentioned he doesn't see XRP dipping below the $2 range, somewhere around there, give or take. He sounded pretty confident. And honestly, a lot of analysts I've been tracking seem to agree. It's fascinating how many of them are aligning on this point. Here's the gist. Bitcoin might climb to the mid 90K range. And if it does, XRP is likely to follow the wave. But here's where it gets exciting. This could be the moment to start paying attention. That's when you'll see the first signs of strength, and XRP could finally take off, surging upward in a big way. So don't stress about short-term fluctuations. If it happens, don't panic. It's just the nature of the crypto game. This kind of volatility is the cost of entry, my friends. Hang tight, embrace the ride, and keep your eyes on the long-term horizon. That's the way to play it. If you're aiming for those 1000% gains, you've got to roll with the minor bumps along the way. That's just the game, folks. It's not the end of the world. He's still confident we'll witness Bitcoin's explosive parabolic surge. If memory serves me right, and I could be off here, he's projecting Bitcoin to peak around $130,000. As for XRP, he's eyeing $8 to $10, possibly even higher. Here's an intriguing update from Rakesh Upadhyay on Cointelegraph. Definitely worth a read. Let's dive straight into the XRP action he's covering this morning. XRP remains stuck in the $2, $2.65 range, signaling a tug-of-war between buyers and sellers. A rebound from $2 current level is likely, but it's set to hit resistance at the 20-day EMA of $2.27. If the price takes a sharp turn down from there, the bears might seize the chance to drag the XRP/USDT pair below $2. Should that happen, brace yourself. The pair could tumble all the way to $1.61. I've spotted a few analysts out there, though not many, suggesting that if prices dip far enough, we could see them fall to around $1.61. It's not a widespread opinion, but it's worth acknowledging. Most analysts, however, seem to agree that the $2 range is a fortress. There's so much buying interest at that level, it's unlikely we'll see a drop below it. That's the general sentiment I'm hearing from the analysts I follow, and I often share their insights here on this channel. Now let's talk about the upside. Here's the exciting part. A solid break and close above the 20-day EMA could pave the way for a rally all the way up to $2.65. If buyers manage to push past the 65 barrier, we'll see the pair complete an inverse head and shoulders pattern. This bullish setup points to a target of $3.69. That's right, folks, new all-time highs for XRP. Considering the current record sits at $3.40, breaking into price discovery territory would be a game changer. And let's be honest, it's about time. But for me, it's not a question of if, it's when. My confidence in this outcome, a solid 100% .0 doubts. Of course, there's a catch. Bitcoin needs to keep climbing. XRP isn't going to break records in a vacuum. But if Bitcoin makes that final push and alt season kicks off, XRP is poised to steal the spotlight. And here's the latest from the charts. Greg Crypto's XRP/USD analysis shows exciting potential. A close above $2.30 could confirm the elusive double bottom pattern. If XRP secures a strong 3-day close above $2.30 and clears the 21 EMA, it sets the stage for big moves. Targets of $2.50 and $2.65 are on the radar, levels frequently cited by analysts. Breaking above those levels, it's thin air from there. A swift run toward $3.00 could be in the cards. The next critical level stands at $3.00, but for now, it all hinges on bulls holding the line at $2.07. As long as they defend this key support, the bullish momentum stays alive and kicking. Here's an update from chart analyst Love Crypto. He predicts XRP is gearing up, coiling with momentum for its next big move, assuming Bitcoin holds above the critical $95,000 0 support. If it does, this summer might be a snooze fest for action. He's confident that double-digit prices for XRP are on the horizon this cycle. But let's be real, if Bitcoin breaks below that $95.08 K level, a point many analysts are buzzing about, things could take a turn. Still, XRP's next leg up, it's not a matter of if, it's when. As for this summer being dull, maybe. Historically, summers are quieter in crypto. There's a reason people say sell in May and go away. But me, I just hodl. It may be slow with vacations and low market activity, but don't sleep on XRP. It's charging up. Honestly, I'm not putting all my faith in it just yet. We've been diving deep into global liquidity trends and how Bitcoin typically lags behind by 10 to 12 weeks. But here's the kicker. Raoul Pal, the former Goldman Sachs exec, is suggesting something wild. He's saying if Bitcoin follows this pattern, we could see it hit $140,000 0 by July. Yep, you heard that right. $140 0 Okay. And if that's the case, we might witness some serious fireworks even earlier, possibly in June. Worst case, we wait it out, staying glued to the edge of our seats, hoping for the summer to deliver. Markets always bounce back eventually, and this could be no exception. Now we're approaching what could be the final leg for XRP. Honestly, I have no idea how this will play out. Will we have to wait until fall, or are the analysts calling for Bitcoin to spark an altcoin season in June, July, or August into something? Time will tell. Global liquidity is the key player here. It's a massive factor. If we don't see an upward move soon, we might witness a decoupling on the charts. Sure, Bitcoin and global M2 don't always move hand in hand, but over the last decade, they've mostly danced together. A break from that pattern would be rare, but not impossible. XRP and Bitcoin have often moved hand in hand, showing strong correlation most of the time. Chart analyst Crypto Wizard recently shared an XRP USD chart comparing 2017 to now. Back in 2017, after its first big surge, XRP consolidated for 210 days before skyrocketing. Today marks day 189. If history is any guide, we might be inching closer to another breakout. If Bitcoin starts moving soon, the timing could align perfectly. It's not guaranteed, but definitely not far-fetched. Crypto Wizard suggests that once XRP breaks $2.80, a new all-time high could follow. History has a habit of rhyming. In 2017, XRP saw a long consolidation phase before taking off. We're now in a similar time frame. Could it happen any day? Maybe. Could it take a little longer? Possibly. Either way, it feels like we're right on the edge of something big. JD recently shared a post that caught my eye. He pointed out how 2017 mirrors the current state of XRP, right before that legendary 20x rally. A lot of analysts seem to agree, but he also issued a familiar warning. After the peak, a massive crash is inevitable. JD often talks about the battle between dumb money and smart money, and there's some real truth in that. I believe once XRP hits its peak, we're looking at a steep, dramatic decline. It could take months, maybe the better part of a year, but I wouldn't be surprised to see prices plunge 70%, 80%, or even 90%. The exact number, who knows, but it's going to be brutal. Now, don't get me wrong. I won't be cheering for those who hold on and watch their net worth tumble. That's just cruel. But I will be excited for myself because those lower prices mean one thing: opportunity. I'll be ready to buy in big, and you can bet I'll be sharing my thoughts and moves on my channel. I'm all about selling on the way up. No illusions about perfectly timing the top. That's not the goal, and I'm okay with that. When I start selling my XRP, who knows? By the time I'm done, maybe the price doubles from where I started. Maybe the highest XRP I sell will be at a peak price. Either way, it's all part of the plan. My focus is on scaling out gradually, hitting a variety of price points along the way. Well, here's the thing. I'm absolutely scaling back in. No question. This is a long game and I'm ready to play it again. Sure, it could take years. I might be at break even or even down for the next 3 to 4 years holding my new XRP. So what? I've been there before. The first few years holding XRP, I was either break even or in the red, but I held on. And now it's a crazy, almost absurd percentage of my net worth. Why? Because I planned for this. I knew patience was the name of the game, and I'm more than ready to go through it all over again. I didn't let it bother me because honestly, it was kind of expected. So I'm taking the same approach now. Check this out. A post from Crypto Insight UK on the XRP/BTC chart. He says, if this XRP/BTC reversal plays out, I'm going to gloat. And here's why. Low sweep? Check. Bullish divergence? Check. RSI and stochastic RSI crossing bullish? Yep. Bullish engulfing candle with volume incoming? Just waiting on that. Close above recent lows and the descending trend line? Getting close. He's confident something big could be brewing. Whether it's today or weeks from now, it's coming. XRP has already crushed Bitcoin in this cycle, but it's not done yet. Before this is over, XRP could leave Bitcoin in the dust even more dramatically. Keep watching. Ripple Van Weekly just dropped a bold take. The XRP chart looks absolutely terrible. Brutally honest, right? According to him, unless something major happens and fast, we could see XRP dip back below $2.00. Don't blame the messenger. He's just calling it like he sees it. Now, let's be clear. This guy is very pro XRP. His delivery might be dramatic, sure, but the warning stands. Other analysts I follow are saying the same thing, just with less flair. And they see a pullback to $2.00 as a real possibility, but view it as a natural step, No panic, just part of the process. They suggest this dip could actually help XRP build strength and set the stage for a breakout. So dramatic or not, the message is consistent. A dip might be coming, but it could pave the way for something stronger. I was a bit surprised to see it phrased like this, but hey, another analyst chiming in, pointing out a warning chart that looks rough. If you want to put it like that, sure. In the short term, you might call it concerning, but honestly, I'm not panicking. In fact, I think XRP is in a stronger position than any other coin in the top 10. It's just so obvious to me. There's nothing here that worries me in the slightest. I'm actually pumped for what's ahead. All we need is a little more patience. Good things take time, and it's coming. As for XRP hitting $10, honestly, that might even be a modest estimate. But remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't make any decisions based solely on what I say. That would be a very, very bad idea. Stay smart, stay focused.